Okie dokie, everybody. Hello, welcome. I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We're looking at the Moon Knight pitch meeting. I've been waiting a few days to do this, just because so much has been going on. So many releases between Stranger Things and more Stranger Things. You know, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then we got Boys coming out. But this is like a perfect day. It's in between all the craziness going on. So, Moon Knight, I enjoyed the show. Hopefully you did too. And that's why we're doing this pitch meeting reaction. Whether or not you like the show, we're here for this pitch meeting reaction. I think that we all can collectively go, oh yeah, that was kind of goofy, wasn't it? So, if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, please, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this sucker up. Otherwise, a Moon Knight at your face. What is the thing called? The boomerang?
A moonerang.
A moonerang. I don't actually know what that thing is called.
Yeah.
But I just know he has infinite amounts. Okay, here we go.
So, you have a new show for me? Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking we could do a Moon Knight series. Oh, like a prank show? What? You run around, friggin' show your bare butt to Sir Patrick Stewart? No. Mooning Knights is tight. I was thinking like a show about the Marvel character Moon Knight. Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. That's more on brand for us, for sure. Yeah.
I wonder how often he goes into this, like, literal consideration of, like, that's a funny phrase. Because so many of his content on his channel is, like, you know, pulling that apart and breaking it down, like...
Yeah, I think that just must be how his brain works, yeah.
So we're gonna meet this British guy, Stephen Grant, right? And he keeps blacking out and waking up in strange places. Oh, been there. But it turns out when he's blacking out, it's actually a split personality situation, and this guy, Mark Spector's taken over. Oh, so we're doing multiple characters played by the same actor? Yeah, they're gonna be constantly talking to each other, interacting and stuff. That never works. Well, sometimes it works. It's just weird to watch one guy interacting with himself. It doesn't cut together well. Nobody wants to watch that. I mean,
For a second, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I know.
And then I realized the irony.
Yeah.
People might. All right, man, I guess we could give it a shot. Okay, great. So anyway, it turns out this Mark guy is the avatar of Khonshu, the Egyptian god of the moon. Okay. And so he has the ability to summon this badass superhero suit and become the Moon Knight. Oh man, I can't wait to see Moon Knight in action. And see him you will, sir. Oh boy. For about 15 minutes in the whole runtime. What? Yeah, not a ton of Moon Knight in the Moon Knight show. He also does this thing where he blacks out before big action scenes and just kind of comes to with the aftermath. Kind of want to see those happen. Well, too bad. All right, so anyway, Mark and Steven are gonna kind of bicker over who gets to control the body as they try to stop this bad guy, Harrow. Harrow, huh? What's his deal? Well, he wants to find this other god Amit's tomb so he can bring her back to life and she could kill anyone who has or will commit evil. Yikes. Yeah, and Steven sees that Harrow has this Amit-style tattoo on his arm, and he's doing that same thing already, judging people and killing them. Big yikes. So Steven's gonna team up with this woman, Layla, who's actually Mark's wife, and try to stop this guy. Yeah, frickin' stop this guy. Sounds like a real jerk. So eventually Khonshu brings them in front of all the other Egyptian gods to tell them about Harrow trying to find Amit's tomb. Smart. But then they bring Harrow in, and Harrow's like, actually, Khonshu isn't very nice, and Mark has mental health issues, so the gods are like, all right, well, Harrow's clearly done nothing wrong. What, that's it? They just believe him? They just believe him. Yeah, that's right. Why doesn't Mark make him show that magical Amit tattoo of his? Unclear. So then all the avatars leave, but this one lady stays behind and gives Mark a hint about some other thing he can find that'll help him out. Oh, very nice. So him and Layla go on another little adventure, and eventually they find this star map that'll lead them to Amit's tomb. Okay. But this star map was made thousands of years ago, so Khonshu has no choice but to turn back the entire night sky to see what it looked like on that night. I mean, they have like iPhone apps that let you do that. Yeah, but
exactly.
He shifts massive celestial bodies instead of opening the app store. Wow, people must freak out. Not really, no. This is the MCU. People see crazy stuff all the time. That's a good point. So anyway, then all the other gods punish Khonshu and imprison him inside a little Ushabti figurine. Oh, dang it. And so eventually Mark actually finds Amit's Ushabti, but Harrow pops out and shoots him dead. Oh, that's fatal. It is, except no, not really, because this is the MCU and death is rarely permanent. That's another good point.
Okay, so hold on, real quick, a couple things. So what he mentioned earlier about wanting to see the action, I felt that too.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, by the end of the show, I wanted to see that action and it blacked out again, and we didn't get Jake until the very end of the show. That upset me. The meeting concluding so quick without Mark Spector pointing out the tattoo on what's his name's arm. I forgot about that, to be honest, but the meeting did feel a little bit truncated. It was like, okay, it all happened so quick, and it seemed like it wasn't really thought through. It's like, oh yeah, decision made. Okay, goodbye. Yeah. Like, clearly, you're the wrong one, you're the right one. Okay, all right. Good. Yeah. Sounds good.
I didn't even think about that in the moment. Yeah. That's a very good point. It's like, he has a freaking tattoo that proves that he's her avatar, basically, and you're gonna just forget about that?
And the final thing is turning back the night sky. I did wonder, like, okay, It only made sense to me if he was actually turning back the night sky. But then everyone in the comments, as we understand now, like, he didn't actually do that. It was an illusion, and that's what cost him his position and put him in the statue prison thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there are legitimately apps that can do that. It's not that hard to find out, like, what the night sky looked like back then.
Is the pretense that the apps don't go back that far, like however many thousand years? Like, maybe
it is remarkable how accurate they can, like, pinpoint, like, where things were 10,000 years ago or whatever. It's just math. It's like, okay, well, based on this trajectory of how it's moving here, it would have been here. It's remarkable how accurate you can get. I mean, Eratosthenes, or whatever his name was, figured out how the circumference of the Earth using shadows and sticks.
Sure.
And that was before, like, modern technology.
So Mark wakes up in this asylum-themed afterlife, and he finds Steven trapped inside a sarcophagus begging to be let out. So that's what happens after you die. Yeah, sometimes. So then they're walking around, and they find another sarcophagus that somebody's trying to get out of. Wow, so who's in there? Well, at the very end of the show, we're gonna find out that there's actually a third personality inside the body named Jake Lockley. They don't open it up. Mark just found Steven inside one of those. Aren't they curious?
Yeah. I'm curious.
Okay.
Exactly.
They keep walking and they find a hippo. What? Yeah, it's this Egyptian goddess, and she brings them on a boat sailing through the afterlife. Okay. And she weighs their hearts to see if they're balanced and they can enter the field of reeds, which is like an eternal paradise kind of place, but their hearts aren't balanced. So what do? Well, Steven ends up sacrificing himself and turning to sand and being stranded in the Duat Desert so Mark can go to the field of reeds. Well, what about that Jake Lockley part of them? Shouldn't he be involved in this calculation somehow? Hey, shut up. So then Mark is in the field of reeds, but he's like, we gotta...
I love that. Hey, shut up.
And then he just keeps going.
He just keeps going.
I also enjoyed the part where, like, because he almost says it like a child. Aren't they going to open the sarcophagus? No, they're going to go and meet a hippo. He sounds like a kid telling a story.
Go back for Steven. We can't leave him lost in the sands forever. Yeah, that'd be messed up. But the hippo goddess is like, it doesn't work like that, Mark. Oh, well, sounds like it's impossible to get him back then. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, because it immediately does work like that, Mark. Oh, yeah, he just kind of magically runs right back into the desert and finds Steven immediately, and then some gates open up and he goes through.
Well, that worked. I found him immediately. I was thinking that too. I'm like, wow, that's pretty convenient. Like, he didn't have to look very hard at all.
Yeah.
Well, that worked out great. It did. And then also Layla released Khonshu so Mark and Steven get their healing powers back. How does she manage to free Khonshu? Well, turns out all you have to do is smash the figurine and that does the trick. Oh, nice. But also Harrow has everything he needs to set Amit free now, so the other gods show up like, what is going on? Who could be doing this? Do they not remember the meeting they just had about that? Yeah, no, they forgot about that, I guess. So they're like, who could it be? And then Harrow kills them all. Very rude. So then Amit is released and she's a very angry crocodile. Oh yeah? Oh yeah. So she inhales a bunch of souls and becomes super huge. And then Khonshu also becomes really big. How? By becoming really big. Sick. Yeah, so then there's gonna be this big final fight, and also Layla has powers too now. Oh, she does? Yeah, the hippopotamus gave her some bug wings. This is a weird show. Kind of. So then Mark turns into Moon Knight and flies in to start kicking some butt. He flies now? He flies now. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. And then it seems like Harrow is gonna kill Mark and Steven and some bad guys shooting at Layla, but only on the shielded part of her body for some reason. Uh-oh, so what's Mark gonna do? He's gonna do what he does best, black out and take care of everything off screen. Oh. Yeah, so that's the big finale. We don't see what happens. I kinda wanted to see it. Well, too bad. So then they trap Amit inside of Harrow's body, because this way they could kill her. Okay. But then Mark and Steven decide not to do it. What? Why not? Because that's kind of a thing in movies and TV. The hero kills a bunch of people throughout the movie, but then when it comes time to kill the big bad guy, they're like, no. But this is a god that wants to kill a bunch of people. Yeah, and so then Khonshu lets Steven and Mark free because they had made a deal. Oh, well, that's nice. It is, but then in a mid-credit scene, we're gonna learn about that Jake Lockley guy, and Khonshu has him kill a bunch of hospital staff to get to Harrow and then kills him. Khonshu has Jake kill a bunch of innocent employees. He did. Yeah, so what do you think? Well, it sounds like a great show. Amazing. So what are you thinking for casting? I was thinking Oscar Isaac for Moon Knight. Yeah, that's a great idea. And for Layla, we could slide into some DMs. What?
Wow.
Wow.
Can you imagine? I'd be like, is this a prank? What the hell?
Wow.
Like, what?
I need to check my DMs more often.
But like, why not just ask her agent? What happened there?
No, you know what? It might be a case where when you're an actor that is a little bit smaller, you know, maybe, who knows, maybe at the time she didn't have an agent, but she'd been in something that they saw her in and they were like, well, she looks cool. How do we get in touch with her? And then they just found her on social media.
That is wild. Wow.
It can happen.
Anyways, I enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys did too. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.